All right, let's answer some questions and stuff like that. We have Jakey Boy 1 minute ago. Who's most likely to be a trade? Man, Ramsey or Hughes? The latter getting a try only 40 leaves me wanting him out. I have 328 in the bank. If you've made that decision, then Hughes is the man to go. Mam and Ramsey both have a little bit more to make, so completely up to you what you want to do on those ones. Or a trade this week, next week, week after, all fine if you want to go upgrade to Top Guns. But Hughesy, if you're not going to keep him for the rest of the year, then get rid of him now. Simple. Simple. Does anyone know what this means? Come on, Jamie W. Anyone know what that means? But thank you, Tim Tam. Says that after each of the videos. Late anyway, thank you. 2014 have made 3 ranks. There you go. So you had to hit, well, depending how high you were, you had to hit a bit over 1,000 to make some ranks. Must be in the top 1,000 for sure. Brody, is Curran a good buy or nah? I think he's a solid buy with other guys being better. Sure, Booth too expensive at 269. I think he's a ripe cash down for a guy like McInnes. Why is McInnes someone that needs to be cashed down? I don't understand. He's averaging over 50. Why? There's so many other issues in our teams, is my thoughts, Ed. But Boothie is a solid option, given that he can be a starter as a 60-ish minute hooker, potentially, room for more, but also potentially a chance that he loses his spot, given it's his first game of the year. So, a solid option, a little bit of a risk. Could play him week to week and could be used as a nice 18th man. So I agree. Move on from Barnett or Frizz. Rather keep Barnett, but not if he stays at lock. Frizz is battling an injury though. Yeah. Both average. Probably just pick one to trade out. Take your pick. Have a guess. Who do you think is going to be able to average more? Frizz is the one that has averaged more of his career, but has obviously struggled a fair bit and is losing cash quickly. Barnett had a big game last week. He's going to be up and down regularly, though. If you bought Barnett, you know that he's a 70 player and then a 30 player. A 70 and a 35, you know what I mean? So that's that. Sammy, Tigers halves has to be Dewey and Hastings. Why play Brooks when he hasn't gotten the Tigers to the finals? Very true. Dewey has not had much of an opportunity and Hastings hasn't been there. So I think that's the play. He isn't bad, but he needs to leave the Tigers. Yeah, I agree with that. He still has I still think he's great enough to be on that team. He's one of the best players on their squad. It's just that they need to change things up, which is completely fair there. My first view of the Chamalolo tries to try all day, every day, and 6 times on Sundays. Robson is there as support and has no obligation to get out of the way, in my view. Terrible decision. Agreed. Most people seem to be thinking the same thing. Interesting take here as well on Reece Walsh. So he was abysmal last week. Liability to the ball, making ridiculous passes, offering little as a last line defense. He's really had a sophomore slump, which means second year slump for anyone not sure. This year with his space getting cut down and SJ and him not on the same page. Very fair. Wrote early in the season that this combo is crucial and has been a flop. So coincidentally, the Warriors are near the bottom of the table. CHG played like a really solid creative fullback versus the Tigers. Walsh is not a point guard for the Golden State Warriors. Enough of the turnovers already. Fair, but a little bit of a dig at Steph there. But that's fine. I think Brooks should take dummy half and lock in Hastings and Adam at 6 and 7. See how that works. Yeah, I may as well try something different. Amone to Booth, Pap to Cook, and Kola to Latrell. Or should I keep Kola? You can keep him, but I think Latrell's pretty important as well, so do that. A lot of trash should have been awarded. Was not interference because he'd already broken through the line and did not come into contact with the play doing so. Yeah, 100%. I agree with that. That's the easiest way to think about it, I reckon. Try every day. Good man. Honestly thought the player had to be in front of the ball carrier. Now, what more makes if you're in the line, but this is a different one because it never really happens that way where you make a break and then people are trying to cover. Let's just say you do make the break like Lolo did, and then Robson's knows where the players are and is having a looking over his shoulder and getting in their way, or he puts an arm out so they can't run past him. That kind of thing is when they would definitely call it an obstruction there. Yes, Cook can only do a certain amount of stuff, and he's doing great at the moment. He's doing great. Adam at 6, Hastings at 7. Get the rid of Luke Brooks and find a solid 9 and back row that with that money. Fair. Yeah, which is what they did here with signing Appy, and let's hope that he doesn't backflip. All right, thoughts on Frizz to Dave Fafita. Hughes to DCE, Mam to Booth, Barnett to Butcher. Pretty solid. Butcher's going to be an interesting one. We'll talk about him tonight and really focus on all these guys, Dave Fafita especially, but I think they're solid trades. King for Cam Murray, Blake Brayley for Harry Grant, and Walsh to Dewey. Lock it in. Good. Do you think trading a Mac Ting for Latrell is a good move? Is Latrell likely to score more than King each week? On average, I'd say so. Been like King this year, beginning a bit of FOMO on Latrell, his last 2 scores. Yeah, don't expect him to hit that score he hit last week every week, but I think he'll average 50 or just above, or King probably a 47 is my guess. So decent upgrade and in a position where you probably need more of a gun than you do in the mids, for example. Cobbo's not allowed to play it because he got knocked out in Origin. So, obviously pretty bad then for it to be 2 weeks in a row. Are these trades good? Frizz to Dewey, Savage to Tor. Needs some more backs, and also Dewey provides half cover too. Centers are May and Manu. Fullbacks are Hines, Teddy, and Tor with Ponga and Kola on the bench. Yeah, solid, man. Good stuff. Thoughts on Barnett and offer to Murray and Butcher? I feel like the offer to Butcher is pretty sideways. Barnett to Butcher, probably slight upgrade. Obviously, Murray's an upgrade. I just feel like offer is a hold this week. Barnett, you could move. Offer's definitely a hold. Everyone bought him in thinking he was going to average like 70. What? Because he has one bad week that he's gone now. I think that's silly. Thoughts on Pap, Kennedy, Kola, and King to Tedesco, Murray, Dewey, and Casey. Casey, I'm probably staying away from. I would personally go Booth rather than Casey, but I understand the thought there. He's had one good game, just be aware of that. And he could lose his spot. He had Shop in 19. He could lose his spot straight away if he has one more bad week. So that's my thoughts there. Is that worth picking up now since he's really cheap? Yeah, definitely next week or two. If you want to get him now, that's fine. He could definitely score pretty well after having a couple of weeks off, but he still has those shoulder issues. They haven't gone away. They will be there for the rest of the season. Latrell or Dave Fafita, who has more upside? Probably Latrell, yeah. Fafita has a lot of upside, but he can also go missing. Same with Latrell. That's it. 1,092 moved back into the top 300. Good stuff, Tobes. 1,020 from NL, 1,030 from NL Fantasy Lads. Good stuff. Talk about Hastings, please. We will in tonight's video for sure. Thoughts on doing these trades? Leave me with 4 trades before round 20 extras. Mam to Kennedy. I wouldn't touch Kennedy. There's cheaper guys that you could do. I'd probably go Booth as like cover. Kola to Dewey. King to Cook. Perhaps to Latrell. Yeah, all solid, man. I think I'm happy with that. All except for the Kennedy one. There's Walsh for sell. Yep, definitely now. Now the team lists are out. Get rid of him. Dewey or Latrell Mitchell for Paps. Either way, man, if you need that extra bit of cash, go Dewey. I think Latrell can score higher, though. Got enough for either Cook or Murray. Any suggestions? Already have Reed and Grant. Probably Murray, then, if you got those two. You don't need 3 hookers. Cook is great, obviously, but the other 2 are also decent. Especially if you got Harry as a starter, Reedy as a backup. Thoughts on Pap to Dewey, Frizzell to Maddo, or Pap to Dewey and Edric to Latrell? Whew. Second one's sick. Get rid of Edric. Is Mitchell a buy this week? Straight up Paps to Latrell. Easy as. Lock it in. Smashed it this week. 1146. Well done, Steve. Made up 500 in the top 300 now. 262. Loved it. Picked up DC as captain. Got lucky in that one. Cheers, mate. Coming for you. Hell yeah. You're smashing me. Burton, Murray, or Cotter. Cotter not there yet. So we go... Gee, Burton first, just because it's a tougher position than Murray. But I think Murray will score better over the season. 1,005 is my best score ever. Congrats, AT Destroyer 19. First 1,000. It's always a very exciting time to go around. Picked up Ponga and Latrell for Savage and Mate, and Cheese for Farmwoody Brown. Oh, this is what you did? Okay. Picked up Ponga and Latrell for Savage. Yeah, that's awesome then. The Brown one, not great, but is what it is. I only got Latrell the day before. Only lost because my cousin that versed him had him as captain. Yeah, that's a good captaincy choice. Well done. Gucci, 1,034 just sunk in top 200 for the first time. Brought in Cook for Walters with no backup, so grabbed Booth last minute. Well done with that. For Polly, which paid off for my first 1K score of the year. Nice work. Like if your team's wondering if it's worth getting on the Latrell train, even though I have Teddy, Garrick, and Hines. Well, you can have a 4th. You definitely need some backup. Had a Cola, Ramsey, Savage, and Karaz, who will be the best to trade to Dewey. It's a tough one. Probably Savage, to be honest with you. Him or Karaz, I'd go for, just. To Savage and Pap, to Trell and Dewey allows me to keep May as cover, but I don't have hooker cover. I do have Cook. Nice. Just guys, letting you know that this is 23 hours ago now, which is obviously before team list. So any questions, if I have doubled up and I've answered them beforehand, just thought I'd go through all of them right here. Thanks for being here. If you are going to leave the video now, hit like, subscribe. I appreciate you all muchly. Let's just go through all these ones here. I had Reedy for Cook, Max King for Latrell, but reversed Latrell to get Harry Grant because I didn't have cover and the Eels already played. Sweet. Taking Latrell with a wing fullback of Hines, Tedesco, Garrick. I should straight upgrade Reynolds to Munster and let Latrell go. I feel like you should get a 4th, man. Why not? You can have him on the bench and play him. You need cover too. 1,052, rank 17,000. Slow and steady wins the race, hopefully. Good stuff, man. Nice score. 1,052 is huge. Last 3 trades until next week. So Blake Brayley for Grant, Max King for Cam Murray, Walsh for Dewey. Lock it in. Robson and Mam, Dewey and Cleary. Or Robson and Mam to Tohu and Cleary. Get Get Dewey, man. I think, why not? Total's going to be good too. Scored 1130. Hectic. 1,056. Only 16. Wow. 150th overall. Hectic. I wish you had the 17th player. Should I hold King, Tungo, or trade out for a keeper? Got 5 trades left. I think you can trade them out, man. 5 trades is sweet to use. Burton or Murray for final team. Pros and cons of each. Murray more consistent. Burton the best in his position. Murray the best in his position. But you can get a bunch of guys closer to Murray's scores, but you can't get many guys closer to Burton's scores. That's his big tick, right? If he can average 55 for the rest of the season, there's only like one other guy that can get half close to that, being Aiken. And Murray, for example, he might average 65, but he has guys that can average high 50s around him. So that's where I'd be going for there. You think average more the rest of the year? David Fafita or Latrell? Probably Fafita just, but Latrell you get a little bit of a cheaper price and a tougher position than what you have the edge. There's a bunch of edge mids and edges there. Who'd you train? Josh King with 76k in the bank. Gee, he's cheap too. Not many players, to be honest with you. I'd try and get Dewey if you can, but I think that might be not enough. If not, you probably go down to a booth and upgrade elsewhere. Would probably be the way to go. And I think that's going to be it. Jackson Earl stuff. Pat and Frizzell to Dewey and DCE. Very solid. Pat Frizzell and Dill Brown to Dewey, DCE and Mitchell. Probably the first one, I would say. Trade Pat for Latrell and keep 200 in the bank, or go for Manu instead. I think Latrell. We should bring in for Pat 76 in the bank. Obviously going to go through him in the next few days, but Latrell, Dewey, Teddy's close, I think, there too. In draft, would you rather Blake Bradley or Jaden Bradley? Probably Blake at the moment. Jaden obviously has a chance to do well. It's just going to be interesting next year as well. But that's the what I'm captaining Manu. That's the video, guys. Hope that helps. Just a quick 10 minutes powwow there for the Q&A. Plenty going through there. We are doing really well. Happy with the setup and what everyone's doing with their trades over the next last few days. The questions have been really good as well. So thank you so much for everything that you guys give to this channel. I appreciate you guys so much. Obviously getting plenty of views still, even though a lot of people don't have many trades. So thank you so much for that. We'll catch you in the next few videos, guys. See you later.